Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque, and welcome back to Season 2 of Royal Clan and ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had not enough prey for the clan, so the cold season was finally getting rough on us, and one of our cats, Garlic Glow, had a bad fall, but thankfully it wasn't serious enough for her to stay in. She still helped us go out and hunt, and things have taken a bit of an unexpected turn this moon, but we are finally in the last turn of Leaf Bear, and it is currently moon 83. Let's check up on the leaders den. So Queen Rainstar has maintained all of our alliances quite well, which is good to see. And yeah, this I did not see coming, guys. This turn of events, this surprise, I did not see coming, because I feel as though I didn't get a clear enough indication in the last couple of episodes. But let's take a look. Scorchmoss finds white poppies while out on a walk and decides to keep them, which is so cute. I love it when my cats collect accessories. I feel like a lot of my favorite cats are cats that have accessories because it just, I don't know, makes them unique, endears me to them. And then the surprise. No one is going to blame Flailstorm for the pride he displays in successfully asking Scorchmoss to become his mate. It's a wonderful life event to celebrate and something to rightfully congratulate the couple on. Guys, Flailstorm and Scorchmoss? Like what? Again, Flailstorm is the one who initiated this, which blows my mind, because he has not had a change in his relationship with her forever. Like, he has had losses and gains with everyone except her. I know not too long ago, Scorchmoss made a move on him, like she rekindled some of their romance by going and watching the stars with him. I think she was the one who initiated that. But even so, she had a romantic gain that was one-sided. Nothing changed for Flailstorm. So I'm kind of surprised that he's the one that took initiative to make this happen. But okay, I mean, there's that. And then Shining Stripe was seen chasing a kitty pet off of the territory. The clan has encountered Nuggets, who I have renamed to Dancing. We'll take a look at him in a second. It is a male cat. And then Garlic Glow's soreness has abated from that bad fall she had in the last episode. But my goodness, Scorchmoss, look at how pretty Scorchmoss looks with that poppy. Oh, it's a little bit hard to tell because it kind of blends in a little bit with her coat, I think, the white pattern on her coat, but she has a white poppy, and it looks so cute, but just behind the ear. So there's that, or beneath the ear. Really cute. So yeah, Scorchmoss and Flailstorm apparently are a thing, which is still mind-boggling. And then the cat that joined recently, Dancing. So this is Dancing. He's a young adult male with amber eyes, a mackerel pelt. He's charismatic with a natural intuition and is a great teacher. And I didn't take a look at the genetics for Swan, but Swan, he is an adult male with cobalt eyes, a rosette pelt. He's strict, a fast runner, and lawkeeper. So those are the two new cats who have joined our servant clan. But yeah, numbers in servant clan have evened out. I feel like season 2 has actually been really good for the growth of Royal Clan, which makes me so happy. I think we've done a really good job, guys. I think we've done a really good job. Okay, let's jump over to the medicine cat den. Garlic Glow, yeah, Sona's got better. Icicle Speck gathered Horsetail this moon. Let's go ahead and see what's going on in relationships. See if we can get an indication for how this happened. Scorchmoss notices that River Kid brought her a big piece of prey. Scorchmoss is always happy to share a piece of fresh kill with Shining Stripe. Icicle Speck thinks the prey Ghost Feather is biting into on the other side of camp looks delicious. Icicle Speck is bossing his son River Kid around. Flailstorm admires how brave Scorchmoss is. Okay, so after all these moons, I suppose, he's looking at Scorchmoss and admiring how brave she is, maybe for holding a candle to him even though he didn't really give her a lot in return. Flailstorm tried on an accessory that Flarefreckle threw away, but realized Flarefreckle looked a lot better in it. And then, apparently, Flailstorm, after his admiration of Scorchmoss, is the one who approaches her and asks her to become his mate. Maybe Flailstorm, I could kind of see Flailstorm maybe getting lonely with age, because he is childish, but there's no one really who's willing to put up with his antics. And it was okay when he was younger and he had others around his age, but now he only has really Scorchmoss that's kind of, in that same vicinity, in the same life state as him, the only one who has the same amount of time as him to spare for these kind of things, whereas everyone else is, busy with their lives, busy with their families. They don't have time for him, and they get frustrated very easily with him. And I think maybe he's looking back at how much he took for granted with Scorchmoss, and maybe that's the reason why suddenly he kind of changed his perspective a little bit, started admiring her, and decided that he wanted to become her mate. Shining Stripe and Quill Runner fill a puddle in the camp with sand together, so some uncle-nephew bonding. Freeze Fur has to help Shining Stripe stop choking on a huge bone. Flare Freckle is talking with Ghost Feather, so mother-son bonding. This is not mother-son bonding. Ink Feather is Ghost Feather's mother. This is, I think Ghost Feather has a thing for Flare Freckle, doesn't he? I think so. Flare Freckle, Shining Stripe, and Freeze Fur had a nice talk while eating. Flare Freckle has been a little kinder to Foxclaw today. Flare Freckle is prancing around in front of Icicle Speck. I'm pretty sure Flare Freckle doesn't have feelings for Ghost Feather, even if Ghost Feather has feelings for her. After kind of ending things with Garlic Glow, or, getting over Garlic Glow completely, Flare Freckle is only paying attention to Icicle Speck, really. When they return from a patrol, Bear Pelt and Frostfade seem more at peace with each other than usual, so we have uncle-nephew bonding over here. Bear Pelt thinks clanmates talk more highly of Riverkit than him. Ink Feather hesitantly asks to exchange Fresh Kill with Garlic Glow. Garlic Glow agrees, since Ink Feather's is her favorite kind anyways. Ink Feather and Cinnamon Kit keep making each other yawn. Cool Runner had a huge argument with Cinnamon Kit. Cool Runner thinks Riverkit is very helpful. Cool Runner just barely missed a mouse, but Freezefur caught it right after, handing it off to him. Frostfade hears Flare Freckle purring during a nap, so some mother-son bonding. Frostfade quickly apologizes after bumping into Riverkit. They have a small laugh about it. Foxclaw admires how brave Flare Freckle is. Foxclaw, are you making a move on Flare Freckle? Like after your brother has shown interest in her? A big bug keeps buzzing around Ghost Feather and Flare Freckle. Freeze Fur has been a little kinder to Riverkit lately, or today. Garlic Glow and Queen Rainstar keep trying to figure out what a bad smell in camp is. Garlic Glow asks Cool Runner about a certain rule of the warrior code that she forgot. Queen Rainstar sees Flare Freckle be kind to one of Rainstar's friends. Queen Rainstar is charmed to hear that Riverkit really admires her. Cinnamon Kit thinks Queen Rainstar looks nicer than him today. And Riverkit and Flare Freckle plan all their days together. So that's all we have for the events. I noticed a few things that might indicate a change in relationships, but I'll take a closer look in a second. But let's wrap up over here and move on to the cat list. Okay, let's continue with our cat list. So a quick reminder on our loyalties over here. Now, there were a few things I noticed in terms of our relationships, a couple of romances in there as well. So first up, we are diving over to Icicle Speck, who has a new romance with, where is she? Flare Freckle. So this was, I suppose, now in hindsight, unsurprising, because we have realized by this point that Icicle Speck is one of our very popular cats, and he has a ton of admirers, but that is also, I think, in part because he himself just cannot help interacting with the clan members and just being his magnetic self. He can't help it. So yeah, he has a new romance with Flare Freckle, and what was it that ticked them over? I think it was something she did. Yeah, she was prancing around in front of Icicle Speck, and I guess he noticed. He took note of her. So there we go. And then the next thing I noticed was with Flare Freckle herself, who has had a romance gain with Icicle Speck. So we know she's been admiring him for a while, but I don't think that Icicle Speck was paying too much attention to her. But this time around, I think she was being really overtly playful, and she looks so pretty because she's got that. What does she have? Is it raspberries? She's got some raspberries. on her fur, and she just looked so pretty, and he couldn't help but notice her. The next thing was with Quill Runner. Quill Runner, who has a new romance with Freeze Fur. Freeze Fur, guys, one of our invisible forgotten cats, now has an admirer. He had 0 before. I feel bad for Frostfade. Frostfade still doesn't have any admirers, but Freeze Fur does. And there's actually nothing going on from Freeze Fur's point of view, but like he doesn't have anyone he's interested in. But I think Quill Runner missed out on some food, and then Freeze Fur caught the prey that escaped and brought it back to Quill Runner, and now Quill Runner is a little bit, I think, like wowed by Freeze Fur's skill. So he kind of has become a little bit interested in Freeze Fur. He's curious, I think, about Freeze Fur and his capabilities now. So there's that. The next thing I noticed was with Scorchmoss, our lovely Scorchmoss with that white poppy on her fur. She, guys, has max love with Flailstorm, who is now her mate. So, I mean, I'm happy for her because it feels as though after all these moons, her love has finally kind of found its completion. I think the very first cat she ever had any romance for was Flailstorm. He wasn't the first cat she fell in love with. She fell in love with her mate, but like who she was paired up with by the clan leader afterwards, like by the king afterwards. But the first romance feelings she had was for Flailstorm, and it took them like their entire lives, and they were very young when that happened, and it took them their entire lives to finally become mates and like find their way back to each other. So I kind of feel happy for her. And the final thing I noticed was, of course, with Flailstorm, who has had a romance gain with Scorchmoss, but he doesn't have max love like she does, so they are not considered as soulmates. Flailstorm needs to have max love for Scorchmoss in order for me to note down that they're soulmates. Now, the other thing I noticed, which I don't know if this is surprising or not, Flailstorm's dislike for Flairfreckle has gotten even worse. Before he just used to hate her, and now he resents her as well. And I'm wondering like why the heck this is. Why the heck is this? I mean, he tried an accessory that she had, and then, you know, she looked a lot better in it. He didn't. I think it might also be the fact that Flairfreckle, she is such a lovely cat, and she was prancing around a little bit and got Icicle Speck's attention, and maybe Flailstorm feels a little bit bitter looking at this young cat because he feels as though he's the one that has to kind of chase it up with Scorchmoss. He's not kind of being pursued in this way, or he can't get, you know, any other cats to notice him in this way. It's almost as though I feel really bad for Scorchmoss because even though it's a completion of her love, it feels to me, because Flailstorm is so childish, that he has chosen Scorchmoss because she's the only one left. I feel like if there were other options for him who were a bit more open to Flailstorm, he would not choose to be with Scorchmoss. But she's the only one left with him now, and that's why he's over here, which is very, very sad. So that is the final thing that I noticed with the cats. But he basically doesn't like seeing the younger cats be better than him. It's, I think, his childishness as he's getting older that's maybe affecting the way he feels about some of these other clan members, some of these other royals. So there is that. We should dive to Inkfeather, see if we can do a matchmaking between Queen Rainstar and Shining Stripe. I mean, they became friends in the last episode. Let's see if they can become something more. Ooh, trust, comfort, romance, respect has increased, jealousy has decreased. So Shining Stripe has finally fallen in love with Queen Rainstar and her immeasurable charm. Rainstar, she has, like, her feelings for Shining Stripe have increased, but she hasn't entirely kind of fallen for him just yet. But fingers crossed, if Shining Stripe kind of maintains his attitude towards her, he will manage to convince her of his true feelings. But I like this. I think it's good in this pairing that maybe Shining Stripe fell first, because I feel like Rainstar is the type of cat that needs to feel wanted by someone else. She needs to see someone else's desire for her. So I think this will be good for them in the long run, because she's gonna feel like royalty, even though she's actually not. She is a noble queen that's on the throne. A little bit complicated, but a queen of noble origins. You know, she doesn't truly count as a royal. So I think that'll make her feel really good about herself. Okay, now let's go ahead and see what everyone's doing for the day. Also, we should note that it is the 5th moon for Cinnamon Kit and River Kit, which means from the next episode, they are going to become apprentices. So when we head out on patrols, the queen is going to be keeping an eye out on potential mentors. But let's see what everyone's doing. Queen Rainstar spent last night stressing over possible disasters. Garlic Glow is ignoring gossip about her kitty pet past. I think we can interpret this as the cat's discussing her noble past and the fact that she is not one of the royals. Icicle Speck ignores a rumbling in his stomach in favor of treating cats. Inkfeather keeps watch over her clanmates at night. Shining Stripe startles Bearpelt, his younger brother, to get back at him for something or other. Flurfreckle doesn't get any work done all morning, too busy climbing trees. Bearpelt brags about how great a hunter he is. Cool Runner saw a pair of 2 legs near camp today. Frostfade pounced on some movement under the snow like a fox. Foxclaw wants to critique Freezefur's fighting techniques. Ghostfeather wants to get to know Frostfade better. Freezefur curses a squirrel that just barely got away. Scorchmoss doesn't like how times have changed since she was young. Okay, I think this kind of fits into what we were talking about with Flailstorm being her first romance and them finally getting some ending, like after all these moons in their old age. Flailstorm is gnawing on a small bone busily. Cinnamon Kit is whining about having caught frostbite despite having just stepped outside, and River Kit is trying not to shake with nerves because he knows it's his last moon of being a kitten. He's going to be a big boy from the next moon, and he's going to be expected to go out, and yeah, he's kind of nervous about all the things he might find outside of his parents' shadow. But okay, that is all we have for the cat list. Let's wrap up over here and move on to patrols. Okay, let's continue with patrols. Somehow we have gotten very lucky with where our prey is at and how much we require, because we currently have 37 prey and we only need 37, like exactly that amount. So we don't actually have to worry about hunting this time around, but I think we might have to from the next one, because our kittens are also going to be aging up, so they're going to require, you know, more food. But let's send out our royal physician, Icicle Speck, first off. There's a limited selection of herbs Icicle Speck can even look for in Leaf Bear, but if he can remember where the wild garlic grew in Greenleaf, it's his for the taking. Proceed. Icicle Speck searches and searches, but eventually he has to admit defeat. He can't remember where the garlic grew when the world was warm. And now we're going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 4. We're going to keep an eye out on potential warriors that our queen might be considering for the youngsters. Okay, so these are the cats that she is considering as potential mentors for the kittens. We have Shining Stripe, who is righteous, good at law-keeping and caretaking. We have Foxclaw, who is sneaky, good at climbing and speaking. Flurfreckle, who is playful and good at fighting. And then Freezefur, who is strict and good at caretaking. Okay, interesting. We'll see if anyone stands out over here. And I don't think that... I mean, these 4 on this side, I suppose she's not considering them, but she might change her mind if nobody stands out over here. But let's go ahead and take a look. Queen Rainstar suggests this might be a good chance for the cats to practice new fighting techniques. Maybe she wants to see who is going to be able to equip the youngsters with the best set of skills. Flurfreckle takes charge and coordinates exercises for the training patrol. Soon cats are practicing trips, twists, and tumbles. Okay, so Flurfreckle actually really stood out over here, even though she is playful. So that might be something that the queen notes. She might get along well with one of the kittens and be able to help guide them. And then we have Ghostfeather, Frostfade, Quill Runner, and Bearpelt. Let's see what they get up to. The patrol comes across a small dog right on the border of Royal Clan territory. Proceed. All Ghostfellas' attempts to drive the small dog off only send it into greater and greater fits of excitement, until the only thing to do is wait, exasperated, in a safe spot for the beast to calm down. Okay, so they didn't have so much of a good patrol, but that's okay, because at least everyone is safe when they come back. But I suppose the queen currently has her eye on Flare Freckle as one of the really good cats, and I don't know who else she might have. And I think Flare Freckle, because she performed so well in that patrol, is maybe expecting to be given mentorship of one of the kittens. So we'll have to see whether or not that actually comes true next time. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.